My name is Paige. I'm 29 years old. I'm a full-time housewife, and my husband is Kyle. After Kyle and I registered our marriage, we rented a condominium and lived there for a while. However, we recently moved to Kyle's parents' house. Today, Kyle's aunt and uncle, Mrs. Kathleen and Mr. Ron, as well as my uncle Tony, who lives close to us, they came to help us move into our new home.
Ron, this box has plates and glasses, so be extra careful with it, okay?
Yeah, sure. You can count on me to bring this safely.
This lovely couple are my Aunt Kathleen and Uncle Ron. And
Paige, is it okay if I close this box up now with the packing tape?
this is my other Uncle Tony. Yes, absolutely. Aunt and uncles, thank you so much for carving your time out to help us move out.
Don't worry about it, Paige. Kyle is at work right now, so this must be a lot of work for you. If you packed all your belongings all by yourself.
Ah, yes, that's right. Kathleen is a full-time housewife, and Ron is a chef. And today is his day off work, while I work from home, so I am flexible with my time. So all three of us would have been at home just doing nothing anyway. Kathleen is physically stronger than me, so she said to leave the work needing to use physical strength to her.
Hey, Ron, what did you just say?
Sorry, I was just joking around.
Ron and Kathleen, you truly have a great relationship. To have such wonderful relatives, I truly am very fortunate. That's what I thought at that time. But I never thought I was about to walk into my worst nightmare.
Paige, this fried fish is a bit too salty.
Huh? I'm sorry. Again? She complained about the food being too salty yesterday, too. So I only used a little bit of salt and made it taste a bit on the bland side. A few days after my husband and I moved into his parents' house, my mother-in-law started complaining about my cooking and the way I do the chores in the house. The living room and bathroom were dirty, only minutes after I literally cleaned them. My mother-in-law even asked me if I didn't like cleaning. After a while, I started thinking that maybe my mother-in-law was picking on me. However, since I wasn't certain about that assumption, I wasn't able to definitively state it though. Then one day, while I was starting to worry about that possibility, when I was mopping the stairs and walked the stairs, I heard something that I didn't want to hear.
Now with this, Paige is going to have to clean again.
Huh? We'll have to clean again? So I tiptoed down the stairs to not make a sound. Then, when I arrived at the bottommost part of the stairs, I stuck out my head from the wall, and I checked what my mother-in-law was doing. I saw my mother-in-law create a hole in my late father-in-law's coat, and she took out the down feathers inside the coat. Then she started scattering the light feathers on the floor of the bathroom that I just cleaned minutes ago. This evil woman, my hunch was right. This evil witch was picking on me all this time. I was very shocked when I actually saw my assumption was true. Frida, what are you doing? When she heard my voice, my mother-in-law stopped doing what she was doing and said,
Oh my, it's you, Paige.
What is happening? Why are you doing this to me? You're also the one who made a mess of the places in the house that I cleaned, right? At first, my mother-in-law showed an embarrassed look on her face. However, a second later,
Because when I see you, I get very irritated.
What?
You think that my cute little son will protect you every time, don't you?
My mother-in-law is calling my husband a cute little son. At first, I thought it was a bit weird, but other than that, she seemed to be acting normal, so I didn't really mind too much about that, but
I realize this after living with you for a while, but Paige, you are taking too much for granted, and you're barking up the wrong tree. I gave birth and took care of my cute little son. He does not belong to you, understood?
So I guess she wants to tell me that Kyle belongs to her? And what I infer from her story is, after a while of the three of us living together, my mother-in-law saw how Kyle and I had a great relationship. Because of that, she started feeling jealous of me, and that jealousy stacked up. This is foolish. What nonsense. Since then, she started directly calling me names, compared to before when she used to beat around the bush with her insults. She started obviously picking on me. At first, she was doing it when Kyle was not around, so that he wouldn't notice her doing that to me. This is why I opened up to Kyle about how his mother treated me.
Mom did what to you? That's a bit hard for me to believe, but all I need to do is ask her to stop doing it, right?
Yes, I'm counting on you to do that, okay? Huh? What's with that hand gesture? Kyle stretched his arms towards me and he showed me both his palms.
Actually, I already spent this month's allowance, so can I have $200?
What? My husband is a bit sloppy about money, so I was the one managing our money. My husband doesn't earn much, though it would be ideal if he earned more. However, he doesn't want me to get a job because he doesn't want other people to think that he doesn't earn enough. What? You already used up your allowance? But I just handed your allowance for this month the other day. If I keep giving you more money for your allowance, we might just go bankrupt.
You're so stingy.
Then, 2 nights later.
Paige, what is wrong with you? Why do you keep on making food that tastes bad? This soup looks like mud. Are you seriously making us drink this mud soup?
Huh? I was shocked by what she said to me because she said it to me when Kyle was in the same room as us. This is the opportunity for Kyle to defend me from his mother picking on me. He should take the chance. However,
You're right, Mom. It's a sin to serve such food that looks and tastes bad.
huh? What just happened? Did Kyle just say,
I've had enough of the food you cook. They all taste bad.
Kyle is also complaining about the food I made, just like how his mother is complaining. I had no idea what was happening to me, and looking at me stunned and confused, my mother-in-law laughed at me very hard, like she was enjoying it a lot. Before we went to bed, I yelled at Kyle, "In the dining room, what was that about?" I grilled him with questions, to which he replied,
It was nothing.
I was even more furious when Kyle took out his phone from his pocket. He pressed a shopping app and started scrolling through the products online. Then the next moment, when he finally found what he was looking for, he pressed the buy button on a pair of shoes that cost $500. He had no hesitation whatsoever when he bought that ludicrously expensive pair of shoes. Hey, wait, what are you doing?
Huh? What do you mean, what?
The pair of shoes cost $500. We don't have that kind of money to spend for a pair of shoes.
Actually, I have enough money to afford it. Mom actually gave me a bit of allowance.
Huh?
When I told her that you won't give me money, Mom said that from now on she'll give me money however much I need. My mother's very kind, isn't she?
That bastard! He was bought with such a bribe. I knew that Kyle was a bit dissatisfied about me managing our money and also restricting the amount of money he'll be able to spend every month. So maybe he thought of taking revenge on me that way. Since then, Kyle started picking on me together with his mother. I can't rely on Kyle anymore. Since it has come to this, I will leave this household. The only problem is that my parents live far away from here, and I don't have much money saved because when Kyle and I got married, I helped him pay off his debts and the taxes that he didn't pay. In the meantime, I decided that I will be staying here until the day when I find a cheap apartment. And when I decide where to move, I will immediately get out of here. Then, I finally found an apartment that ticked the boxes. One evening, when I was days away from moving into my new apartment, this happened.
Paige, I have something to tell you.
Huh? Something to tell me?
About the promise you made me. The one about you giving me $800 every month for living expenses? You've been giving it to me from my cute little son's salary, right? From now on, you should hand me my living expenses with your own money, okay?
Huh?
I heard from my cute little son that you've been managing his salary all this time. I will be managing his money from now on.
Wait a second. Are you telling me to go find a job? But you're exploiting me during the day. How could I possibly have a day job?
That's easy. Just work during the night.
What?
You will work at night somewhere far away. Also, don't ever tell anyone that you're working, understood? Or else others might misunderstand that my cute little son doesn't earn enough, okay? Right, my cute little son?
That's right. You should do that, Paige.
What? When do you suppose I sleep?
You can't even do household chores properly. You don't deserve to sleep. It's a luxury. Ugh, you're such a disappointing daughter-in-law. How are you able to mess up such simple dishes? You really are very bad at cooking.
After saying that, Frida chowed down on the hamburg steak that I cooked, and Kyle was grinning by her side. You've got to be kidding me. You ungrateful mother and son. Once I finally leave this house, there's no way I'm getting in contact with them ever. I will be bitter to them and bear a grudge against them forever. I was filled with anger and rage, but on the night before I was to move into my new apartment, on the day before my mother-in-law's birthday, something very interesting happened. That day, my mother-in-law's relatives gathered at their house. I didn't want to celebrate my mother-in-law's birthday, but after this is done, I will finally be free from everything. I desperately told myself that while I cleaned the whole house. Just like how we agreed on, I was about to order sushi to be delivered.
Paige, I changed my mind about ordering food to be delivered. You cook all the food to be served to everyone.
Huh? Me?
My older sister Kathleen, her husband is a chef, so you better cook proper dishes, okay?
That's what you tell her, but I know you just want her to embarrass herself.
Oh my, was it that obvious? I guess you read my mind.
These freaking bastards! They're trying to mess with me. I see. I'll take this challenge and prove to them what I'm capable of. I will cook the best food I can and give it my all. I will thrust the divorce paper at him and finally get out of this house. Determined to give this everything I got, I breathed hard through my nose, headed to the kitchen, and then started cooking. Then, in the afternoon, Kathleen, Ron, and Tony, as well as the relatives living nearby, came, together with their little children. Then, when everyone arrives at the appointed time,
Now, everyone. Enjoy my daughter-in-law's horrible food.
Enjoy the meal.
they chuckled while recommending the food I cooked to the relatives.
Huh? Horrible food? What are you both talking about?
That's right, I was shocked because you started being rude about Paige.
My husband and my mother-in-law were so focused on picking on me, they didn't realize that the guests were cringing to what they said. Frida and Kyle haven't noticed at all. I was also appalled to the point that I didn't feel like bothering to complain. That's when,
Paige, you cooked all this food?
yeah.
Really? There's plenty of food. You must have worked so hard to cook this much. Now, I'd like to dive right in.
I bet my husband and my mother-in-law were excited to hear my uncle criticize my cooking harshly. They both looked at each other, and then the moment of truth.
What? Whoa, this tastes so good!
Huh?
This fried chicken, it's too good! Are you sure you made this only using the ingredients from the grocery?
To my surprise, Ron praised my cooking skills. I never thought that Ron, the chef, would praise the food I cooked. I was very surprised. I never thought that he would praise my cooking that much.
How about this pasta? This pasta is excellent!
What? Ron. Oh my. You don't have to flatter her. Please, say what you really think of the dish.
Ron ignored Frida, and after he tasted my dishes, the other guests also started trying out my food.
This is really good.
Oh wow, this food tastes like food served in luxury hotels.
The rest of the guests praised my food extremely highly too. My husband and my mother-in-law were very shocked by the comments. They just froze there because of the shock.
Paige, how about you come to work with us in the hotel's kitchen?
What? Wait, what? Ron is actually the executive chef of an ultra-luxury hotel. That is why my husband and my mother-in-law made him taste my cooking, with ulterior motives to embarrass me. But the sudden turn of events happened.
The hotel owner told me to make decisions about everything in the kitchen. Wait a minute, I'll call the hotel owner right away.
So Ron excitedly walked outside the door to make a call.
What? Wait, Paige will be working at a luxury hotel's kitchen? But she's extremely bad at cooking. She's a wife who can't cook.
That's right. How come this disgusting food is delicious to him?
You two, why have you been acting like this since we sat on our chairs?
Huh? Don't tell me that you've been picking on Paige. No,
What are you saying? Of course not. There's no way.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that I should grab. So I ignored the two morons who were making excuses in a hurry and said, yes! I then proceeded to use my phone and I pressed the button on to the recording of the two of them picking on me. They've been picking on me, I shouted, and then smirked. Of course, I recorded them. I also wrote what they did to me and when they did it to me. Everything is recorded in my diary. Listening to the recording, the relatives gave my husband and mother-in-law a cold look.
Paige, why did you record that? What are you trying to do?
Intercepting wiretap is a crime! It's a crime!
Yay me, they're panicking.
Huh? I don't think intercepting wiretap is a crime. What are you saying?
That's when Ron came back from his call.
I got an agreement with the hotel owner. Paige, if you don't mind, how about you stay at our hotel next time? Take a look at the overall atmosphere and the kitchen of the hotel. How about you give working there a thought after checking it out? You can stay there from tonight if you prefer. There's a vacant room available today. Strike while the iron is hot.
This is such a nice timing. I don't have any reason to stay here until tomorrow. After I smiled at Ron for his words, I said, thank you. I look forward to checking my future workplace out. I then carefully placed the divorce paper on the table in front of my husband and his mother.
What?
An official divorce paper?
Seeing me like that, Kathleen and Tony looked at each other and sighed deeply. Then they slightly bowed their heads to me.
Paige, I didn't know this was happening to you. I'm sorry we didn't notice any of this happening because we live far now. I'm truly sorry you experienced this.
I feel really bad for you. I'm sorry.
No, please, don't apologize. It's not your fault. Please, don't bow down your heads to me.
Paige, leave the rest to Kathleen and me. I will make sure that these two pay alimony for what they've done to you. What? Alimony?
Of course! You'll be paying alimony. Brace yourselves.
After that, I then headed to the front parking space where Ron's car was parked. Seconds later, I heard Aunt Kathleen's loud voice scolding them. I don't know what's happening in there, but I also heard some banging noises. After that, my divorce from Kyle was granted, and thanks to the help of our relatives, I was able to receive a huge amount of alimony from both Kyle and his mother. Frida ended up working at the temple near her parents' house, and I heard that at night, she also works at a factory located near the temple. As for Kyle, he continued working, and as for his spare time, Tony makes him clean his house like a housekeeper, but for free, taking advantage of an extra set of hands. Both Frida and Kyle don't have extra time to spend on themselves. On top of that, they only have 2 or 3 hours of sleep every day. Apparently, they are completely battered and skinny. As for me, on the other hand, I decided to work in the kitchen of the luxury hotel. At first, I had a difficult time because I wasn't used to the job yet, but I felt like it was very rewarding work. So I am truly grateful from the bottom of my heart to Uncle Ron for the opportunity. And, oh, that's right, Aunt Kathleen invited me to her house the other day and...
Paige! Happy birthday!
Whoa, is that like a ball-shaped piñata?
Actually, we all thought of surprising you on your birthday. So we planned this party months ago.
Really? Wow, I'm so happy. Thank you very much.
Come on inside. It's freezing outside, isn't it? Everyone helped in cooking the food, not just me. We also made your favorite pudding cake, so please come in.
Yay! I'm so excited for the pudding cake. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching! What kind of crazy people will we get to see next? Stay tuned for more!